Today on DC News Now.
The local Jewish community in mourning after the attacks in Israel.
I was shaking. It was like the most emotion I'd ever felt.
We'll tell you what to expect at another prayer vigil held tonight for the victims.
The Washington Capitals prepare for a new season.
We got young guys trying to prove something and old guys trying to prove something.
What fans can expect. Also, we're stretching your dollar with another Amazon Prime event beginning tomorrow. The perks and hacks to save. Plus, making a difference for local kids.
If I work hard, I can achieve something.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon and welcome to DC News Now on this Tuesday. Right now, we're having some technical difficulties, but let's take a look outside. Let's turn over to meteorologist Damon Matson for the latest on what to expect on this Tuesday. Hey, Damon.
Hey, Annalisa. Hey, at least we got the sun shining down out there today. It's turning out to be another beautiful fall afternoon now as we go into this second half of the day. And fall definitely is in full throat across the DMV. We started out with some very chilly temperatures this morning. You may have had to turn the heat on last night. Turn on those car warmers as you headed off to work or school this morning. We were well into the 40s across pretty much the entire region. Even DC reached 49 degrees. And as you went to the west across northern Virginia, parts of western Maryland, you saw those numbers tick all the way down to the low 40s in Martinsburg, Winchester, Cumberland. And then in the central Shenandoah Valley, Luray, Woodstock fell into the 30s. Definitely brisk as we kicked off the day. But given the fact that we have more sunshine in place out there, currently those temperatures really have jumped into the upper 50s, low to mid 60s, and we'll continue to warm up as we go throughout the day, given the fact that we do have all of that sunshine. You see the warm temperatures into the 60s up and down the East Coast. Still a little bit of cool air hanging on back toward the Great Lakes, where there's still a good amount of cloud cover and a low pressure center spinning away. That's what threw some showers our direction yesterday afternoon and evening, but the last of that rain shower activity, the cloud cover, it passed on overnight last night, and that is what has given way to all of the sunny skies that we have currently. There will still be a few passing clouds as we go through the afternoon, but largely here we'll see a good amount of sunshine that will bump up our temperatures to the upper 60s, possibly even reaching 70 in parts of the DMV. The question is, do we see these temperatures continue to rise as we go on through the rest of the week? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. And right now, Israeli military officials say the death toll from Hamas's surprise attack over the weekend and the IDF's retaliation is now over 1,000. And in Gaza and the West Bank, 830 people have been killed, according to authorities there. Now, today, Israel hit downtown Gaza City, and the war is expected to escalate. Officials with the United States said so far that at least 11 Americans have been killed. John Kirby spoke to the media about the efforts so far. Let's take a listen.
So that's where our focus is right now, making sure that Israel's getting what it needs to defend itself. We also have to accept the possibility that some of those Americans that are unaccounted for could be held hostage by Hamas.
And happening later today, President Joe Biden is expected to deliver remarks from the White House on the war in Israel. We'll have more coming up on this on DC News Now at 4. And here at home, closer to home in the DMV, people are mourning. Our Liberty Zabala has the latest on the vigils happening all around town.
Well, we are outside the Adas Israel congregation, where the local Jewish community will come together in prayer for the hundreds of Israelis killed and kidnapped in these attacks. And this comes after yet another vigil just last night at the Washington Hebrew congregation in Cathedral Heights, where congregants came together in prayer and song, and many of them were worried about the safety of friends and family back in Israel. Now, they say the terrorist group Hamas launched an unprovoked attack, killing hundreds of Israelis and holding dozens of civilians and soldiers captive by Hamas terrorists. Now, the local Jewish community will once again come together tonight to stand with Israel and pray for peace.
It's a chance to be together and to be sad together and to be scared together and to hope together. So we're going to do some singing, we're going to do some praying, we're going to hear from our leaders, but I would say that the primary purpose is just to be with one another in solidarity and in support.
Very scary situation for the local Jewish community here, and this vigil will start at 7 p.m. this evening, and local Jewish leaders say they will be holding many more vigils and rallies throughout the week. For now, in Northwest D.C., Liberty Zabala, D.C. News Now.
Liberty, thank you. And right now there are still calls for also a free and peaceful Palestine. Our Marielle Carbone has the latest on that.
As soon as I heard there is a war and this shelling in Gaza, I was worried about my family.
For Arif Ramadan, it's been a difficult 72 hours.
Very hard, very difficult, feeling not to know how is your family is doing. Are they dead? Are they alive?
Ramadan lives in Germantown now, but he's originally from Gaza. He's Palestinian, with the majority of his family still living in the Middle East.
They don't have electricity. If they don't have electricity, they don't have water.
Sunday, Israel declared war on Palestine, bombarding the Gaza Strip, cutting electricity and blocking the entry of food. It comes after Hamas, a Palestinian military group, launched a surprise attack in Israel, killing at least 900 people. Despite the U.S. designating Hamas a terrorist organization in 1997, Ramadan says the world should be looking at this all differently.
Your perspective, is Hamas a terrorist group?
Your question should be on how to reach peace in the Middle East. The occupation is really the source of violence. If there is occupation disappear, peace will be in the Middle East.
Ramadan says that's all his family wants.
Palestinians are human just like anyone else, and they want to live in peace. They want to have their freedom.
Reporting for DC News Now, I'm Marielle Carbone.
And right now, gas prices are falling, but the war in Israel could mean a rise in oil costs in the near future. Experts say a prolonged impact could impact prices there. Well, in Montgomery County, the fire department is working to educate people about Fire Prevention Week. All right, we're having some technical difficulties there about fire safety. The National Fire Prevention Week, Montgomery County Fire and Rescue is pushing for people to take 10 minutes to test alarms and practice home fire drills. Fire officials say the change in seasons means there are different types of hazards. A lot of people are moving away from outdoor cooking to cooking inside. Cooking is one of the highest causes of fires in the U.S. The National Fire Protection Association says its biggest tip is to just pay attention.
But the main cause, I would say, for home cooking fires is going to be people not staying and monitoring their cooking.
The association says to keep flammable objects away from burners and set timers as reminders that you are cooking. Proper use of appliances is also key to cooking safety. All right, we are back up and running. Everything's working smoothly now. Turning now to sports. Hockey season is officially here. The Washington Capitals get to wipe the slate clean as they host the Pittsburgh Penguins in their season opener on this Friday. Game night's Brandy Flores caught up with the team and has more from the Capitals practice facility in Arlington.
The Washington Capitals get to wipe the slate clean as they host the Pittsburgh Penguins for their season opener this Friday, with returning players having a specific motivation, especially coming into this year after missing the playoffs last season for the first time in years.
When your season ends short in a fashion that you don't want it to end, you know, it's different if it's in a Game 7 OT winner or something, you know, not even having a sniff. You look at yourself in the mirror a little bit more, I think, in the off season. So we got young guys trying to prove something and old guys trying to prove something.
Putting a good foot forth in the first, 5-10 games and playing really hard and doing the right things. If we get some wins, I think it'll build a lot of confidence, and then just keep rolling from there.
In their quest back to the postseason, they'll be led by first-year NHL head coach Spencer Carberry.
Haven't really thought about it, but I'm sure it'll hit me once I get there. And yeah, it's going to be really special, but I'm trying to stay focused.
It might be the beginning of the Carberry era, but he has instilled confidence in his players that he can get the Caps back to their winning ways.
He did a good job of kind of reminding us of the culture that we have around here in the very first meeting, which was really his only message.
He's a straight shooter too. I mean, he tell you how it is. So that's something that I like, and that's something that we're gonna learn from and get better as a team.
This Capitals team is a mix of veterans who won the Stanley Cup back in 2018 and young, fresh faces. And together, they will prepare for the upcoming season and get the Caps back in the playoffs.
I think the boys was missing those kind of, locker room roles, and I think we right now very happy to get started, and we're kind of missing Sean.
All right, Brandy, thank you. And stretching your dollar as temperatures begin to drop, families in Virginia could get some help with energy bills this winter. The state's low-income home energy assistance program is officially open for enrollment. Qualifying customers can apply for one-time cash grants to help cover heating bills or emergency repairs. Now, eligible individuals must have an annual income under $22,000. Families of 4 must have an income under $45,000. You can submit an application in person, online, or by phone. The enrollment period ends on November 13th. You can find more information about this on our website right now, dcnewsnow.com.